Hey guys, welcome to another edition of 7 on Sunday, SOS number 3. This week I will be discussing my 7 favorite TV shows of all time, and I might as well just call it 7 favorite TV shows of the 2000s because that is when all of them are from. I believe all of them on my list started at least 2000 or later. A couple of you guys did request for me to talk about this one, and I picked this topic in particular because this is a very special week. It's a very special week for a couple of reasons, and I will get to those later. But let's go ahead and start off with number 7 on my list. Yes, these are in order from number 7 all the way down to number 1. First on that list, number 7 is Lost. Lost is a show that is very confusing. For those of you who haven't seen it, it is on Netflix if you would like to watch that. The entire series is mostly captivating. It's truly enjoying to watch. The first 3 seasons, I'm going to say that right there. Seasons 4 and 5 didn't really do too much for me, threw me off a little bit, but season 6 kind of reeled it back in, got me hooked on the show again for that final season. I would definitely enjoy checking it out if you like adventure, a little bit of laughs here and there, drama, but mostly just suspense and adventure. It's all over the place. There's things coming out of there that you're not going to expect at all, and definitely a twist ending. Overall, it was definitely a rewarding watch. Number 6 on my list is Scrubs. This is something I've been watching probably since I was about 12 or 13. It used to air in reruns, and I would always sneak out and watch it at night. It usually came on at like 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and I would sneak out of my room and watch Scrubs. It's a comedy that takes place at a hospital, and the lead characters, JD and Turk, just have this indescribable bromance type relationship that's just so hilarious to watch, and how JD, the narrator of the entire show, just interacts with everything in his life. There's so many great characters throughout the series, and it's definitely something that keeps the laughs coming almost the entire series. Number 5 on my list is Rescue Me, starring Dennis Leary as Tommy Gavin, and the show is just so fun to watch because of Tommy Gavin's character. It's just revolving around him mainly, and all the other characters in the crew at the firehouse. You got the chief, you got the lieutenant, and who they call Lou, and it's just fun to watch these guys around the firehouse. Mike, Franco, Proby, everyone around the whole thing is just really fun to watch the lives of these guys in the firehouse. There's a lot of definitely funny moments, but at the same time there's very many moments that are just so dramatic and hard to watch almost. Tommy Gavin is a character that is just torn mentally after the 9/11 attacks, because it takes place in New York and they were there at Ground Zero. And he has all these flashbacks and haunting memories, and he pretends not to, like nothing gets to him, but he keeps relapsing to drinking and everything. It's just a very dramatic series to watch, one of the best that FX has ever done. And I was very sad to see it go after 7 seasons, but the time was definitely right for it to go off the air and close things up. So definitely check that one out. All these that I've mentioned so far are on Netflix. Number 4 is Trailer Park Boys, something that you might not expect me to love, but I absolutely do. I've watched this series all the way through probably 3 times now, I believe. It's just following the drunken adventures of these 3 guys, Bubbles, Julian, and Ricky, and trying to stay out of trouble with the trailer park supervisor, Mr. Leahy, and the guy who refuses to wear a shirt, his assistant Randy, who is just everyone in the show is so talented at making everyone laugh. The stuff that they get themselves into is just unprecedented sometimes and just so off the wall crazy, but it's hilarious. The excuses they come up with for stuff and how they're going to make money, it's just so fun to follow them around the entire series. It's like a documentary camera crew following them around, documenting Julian's life. And I believe that lasted 7 seasons, about 50 some odd episodes, and a couple of movies, so they're all on Netflix as well if you'd like to check those out, and it's definitely a rewarding watch. Getting to the number 3 position, it's Family Guy, something I've grown up on. Now I'm not so fond of the past 4 or 5 seasons or so, but those first seasons, probably like 2 through 7, were just incredible. Laughs all the time. The stuff that Peter Griffin and his family get into are just truly hilarious. The cutaway gags in those earlier seasons too are just too much sometimes for me to handle. I can't help but like quote them with my friends, crack up at them, and if you've seen the show for yourself, you know how funny it can be. Now we get to what I was talking about with kind of the special week that I was talking about, and how it's a little bit bittersweet for me in a couple of ways, and it's a little bit like, you know, on one side I'm really happy, and on the other side I'm sad at the same time. But The Office ended this week, and that is number 2 on my list. The Office, starring Steve Carell, the first 7 seasons or so, and he left near the end of the 7th season. And then, you know, spoiler alert, you can turn the video off here. Steve Carell returned for the final, and he is just one of the funniest people ever to be on TV. The awkward situations and just he can be so self-centered and such a jerk and not even be intending. That's just the person, the character he plays as Michael Scott. Too much. It follows this paper company, Dunder Mifflin, and pretty much every episode without fail is something that is loved by me. There are not really any episodes of that show that I do not enjoy, and that's why it's up so high on my list. It's just, it's non-stop laughs and drama at the same time. There are those sad moments that will reel you in and just be like, I really wanted to see that happen, and I'm so glad it did. And if you watch the Office finale, you will definitely see some of those things happen. That last season, the whole thing with Jim and Pam, two of my favorite characters, they were just going through those marriage troubles, and it made it that much more realistic. But it's filmed from the point of view of a documentary crew, kind of like Trailer Park Boys, except a little bit more professionally done. So I truly enjoyed The Office from start to finish, and I am so sad to see it go. It's one of the best shows ever created. Now we get to number 1 on my list, and I bet you guys are very curious as to what that could be.
It's Arrested Development.
You heard him. That's right. It's Arrested Development. That is my all-time favorite show. I started watching it in high school and reruns on Netflix. Probably one of the first shows I ever watched from start to finish and truly got addicted to when I could just like play through the episodes like boom, boom, boom. And I watched like all 50-some episodes within like a few weeks, and then I went back and I like got more engaged, caught more of the inside gag jokes, and that's why I love this show so much. There's so many like past references. They're always cross-referencing old episodes, making these hidden jokes, clever puns, and that's what the show is all about. I mean, you got characters like Bob Blah Blah, Bob Lob Law is how it's said, but every time you say it, it comes out like blah blah blah. Tobias Funke is my favorite television character of all time, played by David Cross, and he is just too much. He is a comedian, and just the things he gets himself into on that show, the things that he says, like the character is like never aware of what he's actually saying. Well, it seems that I shot my wad on what was originally supposed to be a dry run, and now I have somewhat of a mess on my hands. We shan't be telling your mother about this, shan't we? The awkward interactions between George Michael, played by Michael Cera, and his cousin Maybe are just too funny. The sexual tension between them is just ridiculous, and it's so funny at the same time. All the characters just get these crazy situations and like are lazy, they're rude, they are in the lifestyle that they're used to and they don't want to change even when the dad goes to jail. Definitely watch this series. This is one of the reasons I'm so torn this week about television, is because The Office ended and Arrested Development, after like 7 years of being off the air, is coming back as a Netflix exclusive for season 4. I am so happy, you don't even know. It's only like 8 days away at this point. I'm counting it down. I am so ready for Arrested Development Season 4. 15 new episodes and then possibly a new movie afterwards. I am totally on board. I'm so hoping that these new episodes are amazing because this show is truly one of the best shows ever created. Thanks for watching this 7 on Sundays, guys. That was my 7 favorite TV shows. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave comments in the comment section down below for future SOSs and I might do it. And make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon.